Well, this is Pop Culture Man Children, PCMC. I'm Mike Bongiorno. I'm the host. I'm here today. Thanks for nodding. I really need that assurance. Like, yep, you are the host.
You know you are.
I'm here today.
Not here to argue with you.
I'm here today with Janine Gagliardi. You are...
I feel like you always rev up into my last name.
You know why? Because I knew you before that was your last name. I knew you before you were married. So I feel like my brain wants to say your maiden name. So I have to remind my tongue to say the new name, which is just your name.
We're thinking about this.
My brain, it's new.
The wildest thing is we've already been married for 7 years.
Wow.
Which is crazy. Soon it will have been my last name for longer than my... Not soon, but like... I've only been...
Because you got married at 7?
I got married at... No. But like just eventually...
I was child bride.
You figure... I'm saying soon. But like when I'm 50, it'll be even. And then 51, it'll be longer.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Your episodes tend to break the records.
Yeah.
Every time you're on, you break the record for the longest episode.
No,
so now I'm just
not
like...
this time.
I'm just running
one
the clock.
Word responses.
I'm running the clock.
But I feel like you do this where you'll like tease out these little thoughts that like they're not interesting at all. Like we just keep talking about that.
Yeah. Well, fuck. I mean, you know what it is? Because I don't want to get to the news ever.
Why? I love the news.
I love the news too, but it's like then it's like homework, and I kind of like, to me, I have so much more fun before the news happens,
no.
And that's the stuff that usually gets cut.
Well, the news stuff? No, the news.
No, new stuff.
Oh yeah,
it's
cut
the
all this
pre-news stuff.
Well, last time you cut it up until the Playmobil, which was great because we talked a lot of bullshit before that.
Right.
We were talking for like 20 minutes, and then.
But now because we're having this conversation, I won't cut a single fucking word.
Fucking damn it.
All right, let's talk about news.
Everyone shut it off already.
Let's talk about the news. So, all right, now that the fake fans are gone, let's talk about the real shit.
Crew.
Let's talk about the real shit.
We meet at dawn. Everyone line up outside of Dunkin' Donuts on Victory Boulevard. You know the place. We've talked about this before.
Time. Let's deal with it. Paul Rudd is in the new Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah.
He released a video on Twitter where he was filming the firehouse, which is an active firehouse in Manhattan.
Yeah, Ladder 8.
Yeah, and people come all day and they like take pictures in front of it.
The every fire department house has its own patch, and theirs has a ghost like flying out, and they're the Smoke Busters.
Love it.
Yeah,
that's so much fun. And so then he's filming it, and then he comes into the frame and he's like, "Hey," he says he slimed his pants when he got the call to be in the movie.
That's upsetting.
I mean, not like a cum joke, but you know, even when he's being blue, and you know what, Rudd, clean it up. But even when he's being blue,
it's a family affair.
He's still America's sweetheart.
He has not aged a day since Clueless.
No, he hasn't.
He looks the same age now.
I think. What's the old blues tale of the guy who like meets the devil on the road and sells his soul?
Oh, was the devil went down to Georgia? That's the song.
Yeah.
The like Charlie Daniels band.
Yeah. But like it's like whatever some old blues guy he sold his soul. And like I think that's what Paul Rudd did.
Sure.
Around the time he made his first commercial, which was for Nintendo.
Oh.
Or maybe Super Nintendo. Since then, he made a deal with the devil and he was like, I'll give you anything. I'll give you my firstborn.
I'll just be young.
Yeah.
Forever. I love Paul Rudd. I feel kind of shitty about this movie.
Why so?
I feel like it's a fuck you to the
2016 one?
Yeah, I really do. Which, frankly, it wasn't that great.
Right.
I didn't think it was super funny. But to be fair, there's been one good Ghostbusters movie. Well, I don't think Ghostbusters 2 is that great either.
Well, you fell asleep watching it.
Well, I've seen it in its entirety awake. And I don't think it's great. I think they took a lot from the cartoon. Like, they changed the character of Janine completely.
Yes.
And it's fine. Like, I enjoy it, but it's not, like, fantastic.
I literally just watched it yesterday.
Did you?
Literally yesterday, because I just got the set of the because it's the 35th anniversary this year.
Right. I do. Well, I just feel shitty about it. I feel like they're like, okay, we're not going to deal with that at all. It's obviously it's not in the same universe. Right. We're not going to acknowledge it.
I agree.
And then all the fanboys are like, yes, finally a new Ghostbusters, which is fucked up.
I agree with that.
Also, Dan Aykroyd.
I'm going to address every one of these important issues one by one.
Dan Aykroyd said something recently. He was on a podcast.
Was it about aliens?
It was a lot about aliens.
Because watching him on a podcast is like Thanksgiving with your racist uncle. It's like, at what point is this going off the rails?
No, it was off the rails the entire time. Sure. It was, like, they're into extraterrestrials. So I listened to the last podcast on the left. I love them. Yeah. They're very into aliens as well. So
did he bring Skull Vodka to share?
He plugged it. I'm not joking. Probably 14 times in a half hour. He did.
I think it's what keeps the lights on over at the Aykroyd place.
It's doing very well. So they were talking about his movie Nothing But Trouble.
Right.
And I've seen Nothing But Trouble.
I kind of like it.
It's a fun movie.
It's a comedy version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, sure.
He has a dick nose in it.
Yes, he does. Tupac's in it. It's wild.
It's a weird movie.
So in any event, it came out the same weekend Silence of the Lambs came out, which is, I think, objectively one of the best movies. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time. And on this podcast, he made the argument that the reason Nothing But Trouble didn't do well was because Silence of the Lambs was a female-led picture, and this is like a quote. I can't say it verbatim because I don't know, but he said every girlfriend and every wife in America was telling their husband or boyfriend, let's go see that movie. So nobody came to see mine. So he blamed the women of America for dragging their men to see Silence of the Lambs, famously a women's picture. If you mean that he was skinning women to make women's suits, then yes, it is maybe the most women's picture ever. But he argued that this was like a lady, like a chick flick.
No, that's insane.
And it took the audiences from Nothing But Trouble. And I was like, oh, is he a sexist dickbag? I guess he is.
He might be. I mean, that's insane.
I was like, oh shit, he's crazy.
Does he really believe that?
He apparently does. He told it. I mean, I didn't see his face, but it sounded like he was.
The fact that he still says that this year is a really weird thing.
Insane.
Because it's like, first of all, it's sexist. Secondly, it's wrong. It's because Nothing But Trouble is
a piece of shit movie that nobody wanted to see.
It's a garbage fire of a motion picture. I mean, it's an insane curio.
It's like fun, but it's not fucking
it's interesting
Silence
to watch.
of the Lambs.
Right. Silence of the Lambs is good because it's fucking good. I can't defend Aykroyd or his rantings. I cannot, to quote Tommy Lee Jones and what he said to Jim Carrey when they were making Batman Forever, I cannot sanction your buffoonery. I cannot sanction Dan Aykroyd's buffoonery. I think the fuck you is from the fans that are like, oh, finally another Ghostbusters movie. Yeah. That's wrong. I don't think... Is it fuck you from Sony? Probably, but... You know, whatever. Sony's a movie company. Jason Reitman, who is in Ghostbusters 2, I totally forgot he's in Ghostbusters 2 as a child. He's the kid at the birthday party. It says, my dad says you're full of shit. That's the director of the Ghostbusters movie. He has said, you know, probably politically, not politically correct, but like, he said polite things about the 2016 movie. The reason the 2016 movie doesn't work, by the way, is because... word on the street is that it was a very, very funny script. And you can see it. When I watch it, I see where jokes were. I could see where a joke was subtracted. And then I think they started making it, and then Sony got nervous because they were like, this is a franchise we want to bring back. And it got to be too many cooks. And I think they ruined it. Because if you look at almost every other Paul Feig movie, they're all good. Yeah. He's very good.
He is very good.
So the fact that it doesn't work, to me...
It doesn't have his usual bite.
Right. And I've just heard tidbits from the original script.
But he also goes R, usually.
Right. Which Sony was like, you can't do that. Right. Because there is this whole thing of like, they want it to be for families, whatever. Yeah. So I'm excited about it just because I love Ghostbusters. I'm excited that it's in the continuity of the first movie. The only reason the last one wasn't in the continuity of the first movie is because they wanted Bill Murray, but he didn't want to play the same character.
Right, so he played it.
Right. So from that decision backwards, they made it not in the same world. Although it's like Rick and Morty, like multiverse, because like at the post-credit scene is them talking about the villain from the original movie, and then in the comics, like there's different universes and shit like that. The comics, by the way, the comic series that came out based on the 2016 Ghostbusters was good. They fleshed out the characters more than the film did.
So I know a little girl who went as Ghostbusters for 2, well, I guess now it's like 3 Halloweens in a row. Because of the 2016.
Right.
Because her name is Abby. And one of the characters is Abby. Melissa McCarthy's character is Abby. And she really, like, her parents showed her the original. She loves the original. Right. And loves the new one, too. Right. Because it's like, it's this new thing for her. And I don't know. I saw it through her eyes.
Yes.
And seeing it that way made me really kind of protective of it, even though I didn't personally enjoy it that much. Like, I liked a lot about it, but I was like, okay, it's not that great of a movie, fine.
Right.
But because of that, I'm like, oh, and now that all went away. Like, I know she's now probably going to get excited about this new one because she's still young. She's like 8 years old. And then be like, where are those characters? Where are the other Ghostbusters that I know? Like, these are my Ghostbusters, and they're gone already.
Yeah, I think that movie deserved a sequel.
I think so too.
It made enough money that it deserved a sequel. I don't know why. It's like they lost confidence in it when the neckbeards got all upset over it. I'm totally with you. I had a student who was not a little kid, but she... I had a student a couple years ago who was like very funny. Like, if any student I've ever had, I could see her actually becoming like a famous person, because she would like make these little videos, and she was like extremely funny, and she loved SNL, and she would go to like, I don't know if like you hang out outside or whatever. She would go to SNL dressed as a Ghostbuster.
Okay.
And she had this really cute like Instagram post, and she was like, when I wear my Ghostbusters uniform, I feel strong and funny. And I was just like, I loved it. And I don't dislike that movie. I don't like that there seems to be like a line in the sand over these two. I do wish that other movie, I do wish 2016 had a sequel, because I think it could have only gotten better. I am just excited for more Ghostbusters. I think, by the way, though, that we know very little about this movie. We know it's in the continuity of the original Ghostbusters, but we don't know what it's about.
Yeah.
So far, it's got Finn Wolfhard.
Right.
And then some other young girl.
It seems like there's
is it kids. Little kid Ghostbusters?
It seems like there's kids, and then Dan Aykroyd is there playing Ray.
Yes.
And then there's also Paul Rudd. So I don't know. I feel like maybe
the rumor is that he is the adult, the baby from Ghostbusters 2. Meaning
he's Oscar?
Right, exactly. So his mother would be Sigourney Weaver.
I hope she shows up.
I think she will. She showed up in... I think you'll have everybody but...
Bill Murray?
No, I think he's going to do it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, as Peter?
But as a ghost. He said for many years, I'll only do it as a ghost, and I think they're going to just say okay.
Okay.
It's kind of like for years, Harrison Ford was like, I'll only do Han Solo again if Han Solo dies. And then eventually like, sure.
We just want you back.
Whatever you want to do. You want to die, we're fine.
Did he do... Oh, no. Brian Doyle Murray did the voice for the video game.
No, he did it.
Oh, he did it?
He did it. Oh, well, the story behind that's crazy, which is he was a holdout.
Yeah.
So... They
that was like the real third.
Yeah, no, it really does fit as like the third.
Because it was supposed to be Ghostbusters Go to Hell, right?
Right. That was Aykroyd's original script from like the 90s.
Amazing.
Yeah, the game's coming back out. It's being remade for the new systems. Okay. Yeah, they hired Brian Doyle Murray, his brother, to play the mayor.
Right.
And they were like, and they basically just hired him to Lauren Bill.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. And okay, but I don't know. You know what? Even if Bill's not in it, who gives a shit? I think the fans. You know, it's funny. It comes back to The Last Jedi in a way because it's like, I don't like 2016. Well, I do like it, but 2016 Ghostbusters is weak to me.
It is
because
weak.
It's not that funny.
It's not.
But it has nothing to do with the fact that the characters are females.
No.
But
the characters are compelling. The characters are interesting. Like, I wanted to spend more time with them.
They could have done so much more.
I feel like they are strong enough to do another movie that could potentially be funnier if they gave them more freedom.
I wish
and more
they had
room to breathe. And also, Chris Hemsworth character is fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like about the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so it makes me feel icky about this one, and I'll see it.
I understand.
But it's just like,
oh, the last thing I wanted to speak on.
That's my opinion.
As they take out my soapbox, Ghostbusters 2 is a cinematic marvel. No, I tell you what, I watched it yesterday, and I like it because I liked it as a child. So I don't know if I can watch it objectively.
I didn't see it as a kid.
I still think that I laugh more in that than I do in the 2016 Ghostbusters.
Okay.
2016 Ghostbusters is probably more original. I mean, the Ghostbusters 2 is sort of a beat for beat, like just a remake of the first Ghostbusters. It's one of those type of sequels. But anyway, Paul Rudd, I love him.
He's great.
But by the way, if it ends up being Little Kid Ghostbusters, people are going to not be happy about that.
Good.
Well, speaking about people being happy, and speaking of Melissa McCarthy, she is going to be Ursula.
Shit.
In the live-action Little Mermaid.
Okay.
And people are not happy about that because I don't know why. I guess some people were like, well, Ursula was always coded as black.
Queer. But okay.
Well, she's based on Divine.
Yeah. So, all right.
But I guess because she's purple.
So they were like, it's not.
She's a person of color.
It's not queer enough. It's not diverse enough. That was the complaint for Melissa McCarthy's casting.
So then.
But wait. Then they cast Halle Bailey.
Not Halle Berry.
Not Halle Berry. Halle Bailey.
Right.
Her parents had to know what they were doing.
Yeah, she's like 19.
Yeah. So
Catwoman came out. She was born.
That's right. You know it would be a great name, Halle. It's spelled the exact same way.
Yeah.
Halle Bailey. I feel like I have a speech impediment. I'm trying to say
it's
Halle
like
Berry.
me saying your last name.
Yeah. Halle Bailey.
Because your tongue wants to say Berry.
It does. It really does. So, in any event, Halle Bailey.
But wait, listen. Yeah. She's black.
Exciting. I'm so here for it.
But the neckbeards of Neckbeardia.
Where should we start? Melissa McCarthy or Halle Bailey? What do you want to do?
I think it works together, and people are mad about this, and now they're mad about this, and
for different reasons.
Right.
Yeah. So you've pissed off both. You've really pissed off both sides of the aisle.
There's no way to win, I suppose.
It's incredible. So okay, so let's do the Melissa McCarthy one because that casting decision came out first.
Right.
I'm actually for it. I think that she's a good actor. I think that they're floated out a few names. The big argument is first they had an opportunity to cast a more diverse actor, either a queer actor, a drag performer, or a person of color.
All right. Because another person I was talking to about this was saying, why not do a drag performer?
Why not?
But I think not every person knows that the original Ursula was inspired by a drag performer.
Right.
So I think some people would be like, what is... I think some people would be weirded out. Some people would be like, oh, you're taking a role away from a bigger woman. Everybody would be mad about it in some other stupid way.
I guess there's something to find with everything. But I like the casting choice. One of the big choices that was floated out there was Lizzo, the performer Lizzo. And so she's a singer. She's a fantastic singer. She's a lot of fun. She's like really funny. She's got this great Twitter presence. And she posted something. She like tweeted a performance of herself in full Ursula makeup costume performing Poor Unfortunate Souls, and she does a great rendition, and everyone's like, see, she should have been cast as Ursula. And the tweet was, I am Ursula, and she's like, oh, I'm so heartbroken, like, you know, I wasn't even up for it. So here's the thing, I watched the video. Fantastic musical performance. Her gestures and her like posturing, it's very like high school play. She's like no acting experience. Right. It's like, okay, great. I hope she's on the soundtrack. Like that would be great. Right. But not necessarily.
I think that's the thing that happens with fans. Like I remember when they and I've talked about this before, when they were casting the Teen Titans show, and the first images came out of the Titans, people were like, why not cast this person? And they would show like somebody in like meticulous cosplay. Yeah. And it's like, well, that person is emulating the animated look. And like, that's not how you cast something.
Also, they're not an actor.
Right, exactly. Like, they're not going, okay. They're going, who would be good and interesting in this role? Yeah. You know,
I think Melissa McCarthy will do a really good job.
Sure, of course.
The thing is, they're like, oh, she's not a singer. I believe that.
I don't think that matters anymore. The Rock's not a singer, and he has my favorite song in Moana.
Does he really? There's so many good songs in Moana.
But I love You're Welcome.
I think it's fine.
Wow. It's fine.
Yeah. It's just fine.
I see what's happening here.
I don't. So anyway, Melissa McCarthy, she's I think she's a good choice. And then as far as Halle Bailey,
she's a very good singer.
She's a great singer.
I watched her singing on the YouTubes.
I'm not like familiar with Chloe and Halle. That's like her band.
Yeah. Is it Chloe and Halle?
It's Chloe X Halle, but I've heard them say like Chloe and Halle. So she's got a beautiful voice.
Yes. So she'll be good. She's 19. Great. She's young. She looks, and this is not body shaming. She looks
like a mermaid.
She looks amphibian. Like that's not a body shame. Like her eyes are very far apart.
She does have,
but she still has perfect symmetrical face. She's beautiful. But she has an interesting.
Rather than saying she looks like a frog, I would say she looks otherworldly.
Yes,
she does have an otherworldly beauty about her. And where I think it would lend itself really well to a mermaid. And what are the arguments that you've heard besides the patently racist arguments?
Well, one thing I keep seeing people say, which makes no sense to me, is people go, well, what if they recast Princess Tiana with a white actress? Tiana's the princess from
okay, I've heard this as well. Like, what if they cast Channing Tatum as Black Panther?
And it's like, well, the reason people would be mad about that because Tiana is the only black princess,
right?
So then you'd be making her white like every other princess.
One of two black Marvel superheroes.
Like I've never, it's like this bullshit thing of like. There's
so few
it's not
roles
equal
for people
that
of color.
way.
There's so few roles. So it's like they got one role that used to be for a white person.
And I guess people would be mad if you did that. Yeah. Because there's a difference. Like, there's
a big difference. Someone I saw wrote, they just cast an actor who has Middle Eastern ethnicity for Jasmine. If they had hired a white girl, it would have been a big uproar. And it's like, okay.
Right.
So then they were like, so stick to the source material. So I was like, so what? She should be Danish? Like, what does that even mean? Like, it's a fiction. It's not even real. It's a mermaid. It doesn't exist.
But again, it
doesn't make sense in that context either. Because originally, Jasmine was voiced by a white woman.
Right.
So they didn't, they gave that role to a white person to begin with.
Right. This idea where people go, well, it's not equal.
It is 100% equal. Name one black CEO. Name a black president besides Obama.
Like, it's like most movies.
It's so equal. It's actually not even equal. No, it's not equal at all.
Right.
In the other way.
Right. People.
We're getting on the soapbox, and this time it's about race.
Guys. When Janine's here, it's not going to be fun. You just know that's how it's going to go. It's going to be serious. Things are going to get political. It's going to get polemic.
Someone posted that, little kids are going to be upset because they know that she's Caucasian with red hair. And I was like, first of all, was anybody crying when Julia Roberts was cast as Tinkerbell and Hook? Because I knew there was a difference between the live action version and the animated version.
Right.
And Julia Roberts will never be my Tinkerbell.
Right. Hashtag not my Tinkerbell.
Not my Tinkerbell. It will never be my Tinkerbell.
You have a Tinkerbell tattoo?
I do.
And it's not of Julia Roberts.
Certainly not. I
have a Julia Roberts tattoo.
And it's not of Tinkerbell.
No, not of Tinkerbell. No.
No, it's Mystic Pizza.
Yes, I was literally going to say that. It's on one bicep I have Julia Roberts, and then on the other, like where my elbow is, it's the ring box. So when I like pull my arm up, the ring box is closed.
It like snaps on her fingers.
Right, so it can snap, and then on my other arm can
go around the back, so it can like catch her little fingers.
Yeah, I could do a little.
Oh yeah, I can see.
Woman.
Look at that.
Yeah. Theater of the mind. So
I was going through the live action stuff, and it's like they had a white Sleeping Beauty, they had a white Maleficent, they had a white Cinderella, they had a white Belle. Right.
They've only been good at in the new movies like everyone in Lion King is African American because it was in Africa. And
which I mean with some exceptions too, Seth Rogen, John Oliver, Billy Eichner. Right.
That's true. And then you've got like you said, Jasmine, Naomi Scott, she's of some Middle Eastern descent.
The guy who plays Aladdin.
Right.
The boy who played Mowgli.
Right.
I mean, those are, again, so it's not even equal in that comparison of the live actions. It's not equal.
Also, they could give Holly Jolly.
Beetle Bailey.
Beetle Bailey. They could give Bunsen Burner a It's so stupid. This is the day the show died. They can give her red hair.
Sure.
Why not? They could give her red hair.
Oh, great. They're going to give her a fin. They could give her red hair.
Yeah, like people well, that's the thing when people struggle to find anything but she has red hair. It's like, all right.
Okay. Well, so did Rihanna in 2007.
Right.
It's like, it's just going to look great.
And it's like, all right, in Aladdin, they're in the fake Middle Eastern country, Agrabah.
Sure.
What about Little Mermaid is Danish?
Right.
Other than we know that's where it was written. You know what I mean? It's not like you watch a movie and it's like, oh, this is so Danish.
Yeah. This is a Danish movie if I've ever seen one.
Right. It's fucking nothing.
Everyone's eating pickled herring all day long. I don't even know if that's a Danish food. I just imagined it was. And I made it so.
Well, I'll cut it out if you...
Please. I don't want to offend all the Danes who listen to this.
What? I just saw Spider-Man.
The new one?
Far From Home. And Zendaya is...
You're actually saying her name incorrectly.
Zendaya is...
She said everyone tries to make my name fancier than it is.
Well, she's a fancy lady. I love her.
I would have loved her.
She's very
as
charming. She would be great as Ariel.
She'd be great.
But she plays MJ, not Mary Jane, but she's basically Mary Jane.
Okay. Right, 'cause she's Michelle.
Yeah, right. But she's MJ.
Right.
And that's not. I've seen some people complain about that. Mm-hmm. But
I haven't seen that much complain about.
I've seen a little bit of. I don't know why. Every once in a while, I'll watch a neckbeard YouTube video, and then YouTube thinks that I like that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll go on YouTube and they'll suggest all of this bullshit to me, and I'm like, oh god. So I get a sense of what people are rationally angry about.
Yeah. I guess it's important not to be in an echo chamber, but at the same time, when the argument is so stupid.
It is very stupid.
It's like, why am I even wasting my time filling my head with that noise?
Anyway, my problem was more with these movies. Like, I didn't see Cinderella.
It was cute. Kate Blanchett's the stepmother.
Oh, I like that.
So good. She's very campy in the role.
She's fantastic. I liked Maleficent a lot because it did something different.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast was like, it was such a banal experience. It was like a cover.
It took some weird freaking turns. Like the plague was involved.
Yeah.
What?
And those long plague masks with those
not even
disturb
the right
my
time
nightmares.
Period, because it seems like Gaston's back from fighting in the French Revolution.
Yeah.
But they're wearing plague masks from like the
true.
Middle Ages.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a lick of sense. And you know what I want? I want my history of France to be represented correctly in a movie where a man becomes a beast.
God damn it. I mean, if we could ask for anything.
It's that.
All right. Other than wild things that they added, to me it felt too much like it was just the same exact thing.
Yeah.
It just felt like a cover song.
Yeah.
It felt like my favorite song being played by like a bar band. So I didn't hate it, but I also felt useless. I liked Aladdin. I didn't love it. Will Smith was not good in it. But at least it had like it was very colorful. It did like a sort of Bollywood type thing.
Cool.
And I think they made Jasmine a better character.
Yeah.
She wants to be the Sultan in this one.
That's cool.
So she also has like new songs.
She doesn't just want to not get married off.
She wants to be the ruler.
Be the Sultan.
Right.
That's cool. Is the Sultan as inept as he is in the movie?
Is
like
he
the
inept?
Animated?
I don't remember. It's been so long
it's
since
like
I saw
a
the
miracle
animated.
that he's ruling anything in the animated movie.
Well, I don't remember if this was the way in the cartoon, but like he is
Abu
not.
Would be a better Sultan than him.
Abu's great in this movie. He's like under a spell from Jafar. Like Jafar like hypnotizes him all the time, so like that's why he can't see what clearly is happening.
Right.
I don't remember if that happens in the cartoon.
Animated movie, but it's not like he's a moron even without the spell.
The new Jafar is a smoke show, by the way.
I've heard.
Whew. And I'm excited about Lion King. I have my tickets already.
Nice.
I think that'll be good. But in general, it's sort of like, other than like Marvel and Star Wars and all this other and Pixar, it's like Disney proper is we're just gonna make live action.
I'm cool with that.
I mean,
because I was gonna say like their animation is kind of, their animation studio used to turn out the fairy tales, and there still are now because of the Frozen resurgence. Right. And Wreck-It Ralph isn't really a fairy tale, but they're doing well with that. Tangled was really good. They have Frozen 2, which is going full-blown action movie.
Right.
I'm so excited. P.S. I'm the friend that suggested that Anna has fire powers. I just want to get the proper credit where the credit is due.
So people go back
If
two
you
episodes?
go back 2 episodes, Anthony mentions the friend that... Yeah, no, it was me.
All right.
You're welcome.
Let's all amend that in our notes.
Thank you. So, in any event, this is like how they're doing the fairy tales. I mean, it's all rehashing, but they're like keeping it going.
Yeah.
So, I like that about it.
Look, I'm not the kind of person who goes like, let's do originality, because I love remakes and Star Wars movies and bullshit. I just feel like I wish there was more things like Maleficent.
Okay.
That was such a good, like, they didn't just say, let's just do a live action Sleeping Beauty. Let's fucking do something really weird and different with it.
Yeah.
And I wish they did more of that. Now, maybe,
they're doing Maleficent too.
Yes, that looks good. Maybe, the new, Little Mermaid will be different. I don't know. I mean, I love the Little Mermaid. See, that'd be awesome. What's her deal? Her and Triton brother and sister?
Siblings?
Did he cast her out? Why does she have legal
her crown?
Yeah, I want to know.
Did she used to be in power?
This is the movie that needs to be made.
There's a lot to mine there. There's a lot of like crumbs that they leave for us, and then you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole Triton and Ursula backstory that we don't get at all.
Yeah.
Did they used to fuck?
No, I think they're siblings.
I got that too, but there's also like tension there.
They used to fuck.
And Triton's a daddy.
Oh, absolutely. They were talking about The Little Mermaid on the Bechdel cast, and they were pointing out how when the movie came out, there's a disturbing number of male critics that talked about how hot Ariel was, which I'm gonna get behind. She's hot.
There's a line in the movie where she very explicitly states her age, which is 16 years old.
Is she?
She is.
Well, maritime law. I don't know. Anyway, so
it's the law of the sea. It's my sea bride.
But anyway, I'm for Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey.
It's because it doesn't rhyme.
No.
But you want it to.
Yeah.
You want to go Halle Bailey or Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey would be perfect.
Right. Someone needs to get to her.
That's the issue we have with this movie.
Yeah.
Her name isn't right.
But she'll be great.
I'm sure she will be.
So One Day at a Time
got picked up.
It got picked up. It was canceled from
Pop TV.
Right.
Where they do Schitt's Creek.
Yes, exactly.
What is Pop TV? Whenever it comes on, because I watch it on Netflix.
Yeah. Well, what
channel is that? Is it on cable? I don't even know.
Well, look, here's an article called How Queer Fandom Saved One Day at a Time.
Oh, is Pop like logo?
I think it is.
Okay. That's cool.
And this is from Pride, the blog Pride.
Is that what it stands for? Pride of...
I think Pride, like Pride.
No, I mean Pop. Like, does it stand for anything?
I don't know what Pop means. Pop.
It's just Pop.
Yeah.
It doesn't stand for Pride of something. People.
The story of how fan favorite comedy One Day at a Time was saved from cancellation by Pop TV is a full-fledged drama. And as network president Brad Schwartz tells it, they couldn't have pulled it off without fans in the LGBTQ community. One Day at a Time and Pop first crossed paths in January 2019 at the Critics' Choice Awards. One Day at a Time and Pop's flagship show, Schitt's Creek, had both been nominated for Best Comedy Series, along with heavy hitters like The Good Place and The Marvelous Miss Maisel. Quote, "We were all there together in this category of 5 or 6 of the best comedies on television," Schwartz told Pride. Literally just a few months later, you're reading that Netflix is canceling One Day at a Time. I almost didn't believe it, because it was such a critically praised and beloved show. His next thought was, that's a Pop show. Let's see if we can get it. The last few months have been a roller coaster for One Day at a Time, a reboot of the classic Norman Lear sitcom that ran from 1975 to 1984. The new version centers around the Cuban-American Alvarez family, bringing some welcome diversity to the TV landscape, and LGBTQ plus viewers have loved seeing themselves represented in lesbian teen daughter Alina. Do you watch this show?
I don't.
I know Amelia loves it. And her non-binary love interest, Sid. I didn't know that there was a non-binary character and a lesbian character. Fans are so passionate and loyal to the series that when news broke in February that Netflix might not renew it for 4th season, #RenewODAAT started trending worldwide on Twitter. Celebrities like Lin-Manuel Miranda, Stephanie Beatriz rallying behind it. The outcry was so intense that Netflix had to post a Twitter thread explaining their decision. And now it goes on to sort of this article is saying that like Schitt's Creek's audience is very queer.
Okay.
Which I get that. Mm-hmm. Are you still watching Schitt's Creek?
I've watched every season that's available on Netflix. So what's kind of funny is once they complete a season on Pop, it's probably going to end up on Netflix anyway.
Quote, the elements of Schitt's Creek that are really resonating for people is how kind it is, how joyous it is, and how it deals with inclusion, acceptance, and family and love. He said of the queer inclusive series, even in dark times of our world and a very divisive political climate, there was this little town where you could go where everything felt like that's the way it should be and was escapist. The show's popularity turned into a breakout success with Pop TV, a small CBS Corporation Lionsgate channel that rebranded with fandom focus in 2014. I still don't know where Pop is or where to get it. So I guess Pop... Well, One Day at a Time is a different kind of comedy in many respects. He felt that it hit the same emotional beats. It dealt with family, it dealt with love, it dealt with issues of inclusion. So let's talk about something that I'm excited about that is probably going to be racist.
Oh, no.
The new Gremlins animated series.
Okay.
So it was announced this week out of fucking nowhere that there's going to be a Gremlins animated series. And it... All right, you've seen Gremlins, right?
Sure.
So... Gizmo, the Mogwai, he's owned by the really, really racist Fu Manchu kind of stereotyped old man in Chinatown in the beginning. The cartoon, which is a prequel, is about that guy and Gizmo in China going on wild adventures.
I guarantee you not one Asian person is involved in this.
You are wrong. It is written by Che Chun.
Okay.
Which is spelled Tzee, last name Chun, Chun. So that's not a bad thing. But
we're already off to a much better start than I thought we would be.
So the show is called Gremlins: Secret of the Mogwai.
Okay.
But this is the only image that they released of it.
That's cute.
It'll be look. All right. So
what channel is it going to be on, or what service is it going to be on?
Oh, I have no idea anymore. It's something that I'll have to pay for.
It's gonna be Gremlins,
Warner Media, which I guess is
access.
Warner's fucking streaming service. What? Everybody's got streaming services.
NBC has their own. They're gonna have their own pay streaming service.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So then
that's why they're taking 30 Rock and or they have taken 30 Rock off, and they're going to start taking that's why they're taking off The Office.
So then Hulu is just going to be Disney then,
I guess,
because Hulu. All right. Yeah. Set in 1920 Shanghai. The series will tell the story of how 10-year-old Sam Wing met the young Mogwai called Gizmo.
Oh, Gizmo's super old. I thought he was a baby.
Oh yeah, I know. I think he's
just like an ancient being.
Yeah, he's like Chewbacca. Like Chewbacca's like a full-grown man in episode 3.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And then we're up to episode 9 and he's still like totally chilling. He's still
700 years
He's still
old.
fine. No, I think he's from the comic books. I believe they say that he's like 300 in episode 4.
Okay.
Because there's a Chewbacca comic where he does get a medal and then he goes home and shows the medal to the other. See, he's always going back and forth, back to Kashyyyk and then back out. Yeah. Anyway,
he's a long hauler.
He cares about the Kashyyyk people. I love that scene in fucking Solo where he finds the other Wookiees that are being enslaved and they touch heads.
Aww.
Yeah. So Gremlins is a show. That's it for the news. I hope it's good. So
wasn't there a Gremlins show already? Like a Gremlins cartoon?
No.
Okay.
No.
I feel like I can see an animated Gizmo in my head really clearly.
I have posted at Pop Culture Man-Children on Instagram. I've posted the Gizmo cereal. So you might have seen the cereal box, which is a sort of cartoonish Gizmo. Gremlins came out the same day as Ghostbusters 1.
Oh, really? So,
a little fun trivia. The news was about Ghostbusters, Little Mermaid, Gremlins, and One Day at a Time. So, let's go to Trailer Corner. Are you ready?
No.
All right. You take your time.
I'm ready. All right, let's do it. What are we doing first?
I'm drinking. Look, you got notes and everything.
I'm a professional.
Do you write in cursive?
I mix it up. See? I do some.
I see.
There's Bosley. There's Bosley all over the place.
Do you want to start with Charlie's Angels?
Sure.
So, who are the angels? It's
Kristen Stewart.
Right.
Ella Balinska.
And Naomi Scott. Who's Jasmine.
Yeah.
All right. My first instinct was kind of mild boredom.
Okay.
I liked the more parodic, funny take of the last series. The Drew Barrymore produced and starred ones with Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, and Cameron Diaz. Right. I liked those. This one seems to want to be more in line with the series and be a little bit more actiony.
Okay.
But there was also a reboot of the series not that long ago. So I feel like this is the 900th reboot. Yeah.
The thing, okay. So the cool thing about this movie and the cool thing about the 2000 and 2003 movies are they are not reboots or remakes. They're a continuation of the series. So the 2000 and 2003 movies referenced the television series, and these are apparently going to reference the McGee movies. Yeah.
So sort of like the new Shaft.
Exactly.
Like
so
it's all
everything's building on.
Okay, I like that
in universe, and then apparently the premise of this is like the Townsend Agency has expanded.
Yes.
So there's multiple angels internationally. So there's multiple angels, multiple Bosleys. So there's like 3 Bosleys in this movie.
It's a little bit like Men in Black International.
I guess. Because I haven't seen it, but
it was not great.
All right.
But Janine, wouldn't it be better if they smiled? I fell off my chair doing that bit. I'm sorry. That's stupid. I'm gonna give it a chance. I think you know what it is. I think I have, other than the original not the original movies, other than the movies from whatever how long ago it was. It was never a franchise that I liked that much. I'm kind of interested in Elizabeth Banks is like the director.
She's behind this project. She's a screenwriter. She's a producer. She's the director. Yeah, and she's Bosley.
Right.
She's their Bosley.
Right. Because in the last one, Bernie Mac was Bosley.
Bernie Mac was the second Bosley. Bill Murray was the first Bosley.
Yes.
Yeah. But that's only because he doesn't do sequels, so he wasn't in the second one.
Right. And also because Lucy Liu hated him.
Oh, really?
And they did not get along.
Okay.
So they were like, we're going to lose him. It looks fun. I don't know. I kind of like their vibe. I kind of like their... Like, you see a lot of their camaraderie and their sort of... the way they speak to one another. They seem like they've got chemistry.
Okay. It strikes me as hopefully a fun movie. Yeah. I hope it's going to be fun because the series wasn't well written. The McGee movies weren't well written. Right. I imagine this is probably not well written. I hope it's better. Right. You know, but I don't have super high hopes for it to begin with. I loved the McGee movies. So the first one came out when I was 13 and it was just a great age. Yeah, I got to go to the movies by myself to see it and it was so much fun and I absolutely loved it. I had Cosmo Girl magazine put out a sheet of stickers with all the Charlie's Angels characters on them and I had them on my computer.
That's exciting.
Really into it. 2003, I was 16, so I didn't care about it at all. Didn't care about the sequel, but the first one I really loved. So unfortunately, this doesn't have that nostalgic hold on me where I'm like, oh, cool, Charlie's Angels, but I'm sure it's going to be fun like that for somebody.
Right. I mean, some 13-year-old may see this.
I hope the character of Sabina, which is Kristen Stewart's character, is queer because they gave her a real fun, punky, short haircut.
Right. And the actress identifies as queer. Yes. And people give her shit, but people give anybody involved in Twilight shit. But I like her a lot.
I like her a lot. This, I want to say, is her first mainstream movie back since Twilight because she's done a lot of films, but she's We had a lot of really interesting choices.
Yes.
Like she did The Clouds of Sils Maria and Personal Shopper, and she did that one about like Guantanamo.
Probably the last like big movie she did was I forget what it was called, but it was like some movie where like she was a pothead and her boyfriend was a pothead, but he was like a sleeper cell.
American Ultra.
Yeah.
Is that Max Landis movie?
Yeesh.
Pretty good. I liked it.
Okay.
He can be a piece of shit in the movies. All right.
Absolutely. I haven't seen it, but that was like the last like big like mainstream thing she did. I think she's good. I think it'll be good. It looks like Naomi Scott's character is like a civilian who gets like
caught up in it.
Yeah. So I like that vibe.
Yeah.
It looks fun. It looks
Patrick
fun.
Stewart is a Bosley.
Come on now.
Jaimon Hansu is a Bosley.
Okay.
So I don't know what that's all about, but I'm interested. I like that.
I watched the trailer twice, but I'm trying to remember. Do they use guns in the trailer?
They do.
Because remember in the other one, the Drew Barrymore produced one, she was all like no guns. Do you remember that? And they only use like martial arts.
Yeah. So the effect. Now, okay, I did read that in this one, the stunts are going to be more down to earth. Because the stunts in the 2001
they're wild.
They're like Matrixy.
Right,
they're
right.
like things you can't do.
Everything
physically.
was at that point.
Yeah. So people are like flying through the air.
America was obsessed with bullet time.
Yeah, they really were. There's a ton of bullet time in those movies. I kind of want to watch it again. Should we just watch it real quick?
We're gonna take a break. We're gonna go watch both of them.
Both those movies.
I remember liking them a lot. I rented them. I didn't see them in the theater.
I saw the first one in theaters.
I rented them from Blockbuster Video.
Oh man, those were the days.
Those were the days. It'll be good.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
So, Jumanji: The Next Level.
Can I say, I have nothing written for this except that it's called Jumanji: The Next Level.
Yep.
But
it is.
I'm so invested in this premise.
Really?
I really am.
Did you like the last one?
I haven't seen it. I like the idea that they're the same actors, but they're different characters.
Right. Because in the first, we're just going to forget the original Jumanji, right?
Yeah. It makes it feel like an interesting sequel because essentially it's the same premise, right? They get sucked into the game. It's a jungle.
And the characters outside of the game. Right, exactly. Whereas it's four kids that don't get along, like Breakfast Clubby kids, as the four game characters. But now it's the same people playing the game characters. Karen Gillan from Doctor Who and Jack Black and The Rock and Kevin Hart. But now some of the characters are switched, and then there's what do you call it? The Rock is
Danny DeVito. Danny Glover is Kevin Hart.
Right. So even though it's another movie starring The Rock and Kevin Hart, they are playing different characters. Yeah. And I like that.
I love that because it really feels like a video game in that sense. Like anybody can play these characters.
Yeah.
I think Karen Gillan's the same.
She's the same.
Which is good because you need a guide at that point.
And then the mean girl, I guess, isn't in it. It doesn't look like she's
not in it. Yeah, because the football guy is Jack Black.
Right, and the football guy...
The mean girl was Jack Black.
Right, exactly. Originally. Yeah, and the football player kid was Kevin Hart.
Where's the original kid? That's a mystery.
I think they're looking for him.
Right,
He's lost within it.
Yeah. The kid from Hereditary. Nat Wolff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I might go see Midsommar tomorrow.
Oh, God.
Apparently
it's different than the screenplay that I read, which is fine, but it's like not too different, so...
I might.
You're gonna get freaked out.
I loved Hereditary. I've never been more scared of... You didn't see it, right?
No, I didn't. But I know that's a thing.
Yeah, the girl does it, and then at some point she dies. And then
you
like,
hear it again,
you
right?
hear it,
yeah.
and like it's like a silent scene, and everyone in the theater I was in flipped out. People were like... Fuck. It was a fun movie to see with people. You said to me, I can't believe how fast they made this.
Yeah.
And I'm shocked, too. Like, I felt like I just
saw... Didn't it come out last year?
Like, I felt
last summer, right? Because Rampage was out at the same time. Or it was like... Oh, no, it was like Skyscraper, Rampage, and Jumanji.
Right.
It was a big summer for the Rock
trilogy. And I fell asleep during Rampage.
I love that. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a big, dumb, fun movie.
It wasn't dumb enough.
No.
It took its premise a little too serious.
The game was barely a story. Like,
it's based on like an Atari game or something. It's like such an old game.
You just destroy buildings.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Well, that happens at the end of the movie.
Good.
I liked
true to the source material.
You know it was. I liked it. I thought it was actually really fun. the first one, the one that came out last year.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, so I looked up Jumanji 2.
Yeah.
The first one comes up. This is Jumanji 3.
Right. Some people calling this Jumanji 3.
Yeah.
If you count the first one as the first one.
Yeah.
But then some people are calling this Jumanji 2.
Right. Neither is wrong. Both are wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to go with both are wrong. Both are wrong. This is Jumanji The Next Level.
I like it.
You get it because they're a video game.
No.
And Rhys Darby is a non-player character.
Yeah.
So
and
his
name is Nigel.
Yeah.
Like Nigel Thornberry. And he kind of looks like Nigel Thornberry from the Wild Thornberrys.
Yes. Who was voiced by Tim Curry, right?
Oh, maybe. He looks like Nigel Thornberry.
I never got into the Wild Thornberrys.
You were too old. I was just on the cusp of being too old, and I watched it anyway.
You were watching Wild Thornberrys,
yeah,
and playing with your Charlie's Angel stickers,
yeah,
and you were like,
at the same time, and I was like, "When will a boy
Janine.
Kiss me?" Never.
Look at all these birds.
Sophia Schwarzen. It's a 30 Rock bird reference.
How's your mom's pill addiction? They met the Rugrats at some point.
Oh, they did, didn't they?
Wild Thornberrys.
I must have missed that one. I was like, forget it.
Yeah.
I'm never getting kissed at this rate.
Bob loves Abishola.
Okay. All right. This is...
Oh, you have a lot of notes on this one.
This was
a preview. So it was actually like 5 minutes of, I guess, the pilot truncated.
Yeah. So Chuck Lorre.
Yeah.
So it's got power behind it.
And if we know one thing about Chuck Lorre is he's great with depicting women.
So it's Billy Gardell from Mike and Molly.
Yes.
And I don't want to get this wrong. So Folake Olowo Foyeku. Olowo. So it's like a sentence. Her last name is actually a sentence.
Really?
And it means like a gift from the chieftain.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Olowo Foyeku, but Olowo is like the first part of the sentence, and Foyeku is the last part. So I watched her say her name several times. So Folake Olowo Foyeku is the Abishola character. She's a nurse. In it, she is a Nigerian nurse. And her family is depicted. They're a Nigerian family. Yeah. The actor is from Nigeria.
Yes.
And apparently it's the first time a Nigerian family is depicted on network TV. And she speaks Yoruba on the show.
Yes.
Which is a big deal. And apparently it's already going like massively viral in Nigeria. And they're like extremely excited for it.
I watched a Nigerian YouTuber react to it.
Okay.
And there's a point in the preview where Bob is Billy Ardell, who's a larger man. You know him from Mike and Molly. And in the pilot of this, he has a heart attack.
Right.
And she's his nurse, and that's how he meets her.
Right.
And she has to go pee, but she can't leave him. So he's like, well, I'm pee shy, and she sings a song. Uh-huh. And the Nigerian YouTuber that I was watching it, she started crying, and she was like, "That's a real song." She said, "I can't believe this is on white TV."
Wow.
So there is a verisimilitude to Abishola's character and the way she speaks and all that.
Yeah, and her family apparently as well, like her family life.
Yes. Now my worry, because I think this is great, but my worry is I don't trust CBS to do something that is nuanced and tactful and careful, because I think you have to be careful with representation sometimes, especially representation of a coupling between a white male and a female person of color. And I don't trust Chuck Lorre. Chuck Lorre, he wrote the Inspector Gadget theme song. That's the best thing he ever did. I don't like Big Bang Theory. Big Bang Theory is like, how about nerds and there's a hot chick? Like and of course, 2.5 Men. I feel like Chuck Lorre's stuff is very sexist. And so I don't trust him and his abilities. It's kind of like
it does seem like he's stalking her in the preview.
Right.
It's super creepy.
He seems to fall for her.
Yeah.
Because he likes the way she says his name, Bob.
Bob.
His name is Bob.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he's sweet to her. He's like, oh, I never liked the way my name sounded until I heard you say it, which is adorable.
But then he goes to the hospital.
He keeps showing up.
Right, and she's not working. Away.
He shows up at her bus stop, which is incredibly creepy.
Right. Yeah, he seems to be stalking her.
Yeah. And he keeps like giving her compression socks.
Right, because that's what he does. He makes
his
socks.
Line of work.
Yeah.
He's a sock man.
Yeah. And it's called Bob Hart's Abishola.
Right.
Which... look, I know this is getting into the weeds, but making it Bob Hart's Abishola makes Bob the protagonist.
Right.
It would be different if it was Abishola Hart's Bob.
Right.
But it seems like...
I don't think Abishola does heart Bob.
No, it doesn't. It seems like Abishola is very upset with Bob.
Abishola wants to keep her job. Wants this man to stop showing up at her work.
Yeah, I know. She doesn't seem that interested. But at the same time, like, the preview is like... It sort of has sweet music and like... it was supposed to be... thinking of this as like very romantic.
Okay.
This is the thing. I think
if I'm just not seeing that she's reciprocating. Because if she is reciprocating, then it's like, oh, he's like courting her. It's cute. She wants his attentions and his affections. The only thing we get is that she says like, leave the bag of socks when he leaves. So she tells him like, go away, but you can leave this bag of socks.
We see her with her family, her parents, and her son, and she's telling her son to like go to college, and so it seems like her concerns are much more about her and her family.
Yeah, it's an immigrant narrative. She's working in this country. Right. She's working hard. She lives with her family. I'm sure they all live together to, pay rent. And she's raising her child here. She wants him to get an American education.
Right. And he has a business. Yeah. So you would assume that he has some wealth. Mm. And I'm not trying to body shame the actor, but even his large stature to me feels like wealth. You know what I mean? Like
look at all the food he ate.
Like I'm a sultan. You know what I mean? Like I can give you all these riches. You know, it doesn't. Its heart is in the right place, but it feels like I'm just worried. I'm just worried at how it will execute what it's doing.
We were kind of discussing this before recording. You were talking about the nuance and how like you're worried it's not going to treat it. And I agree with you. I don't think we're going to get like a sophisticated writing out of this, but I think maybe it's just enough that they're on screen.
Absolutely.
That they're being represented in any way that we've never seen a Nigerian family represented. And
to get to, Billy Gardell is an overweight man. Mm-hmm. And that's representation too. I mean, the thing that people praised about Mike and Molly was that they were two larger people.
Right. Well, I mean, I sent you the description for that show, the like premise that they wrote down.
Right.
as like promotional material for the show.
It was a little bit. You pointed out his last name was Fats or whatever.
It's Biggs.
Biggs. Mike Biggs.
And
boy, does that stink of sitcom
over
writing.
Their love of pie.
First of all, who hasn't had that moment? Right, because they meet in a Overeater Anonymous meeting.
And then she got out of that show real quick. Yeah, no, I know. She's like, goodbye. Well, okay, so I don't know if you watched it at all, but towards the end of the series, when she was like on her way out, and she had already had the bridesmaid success, she was still doing the show, and then they started making pretty much all the storylines about her and like giving her really funny things to do, and then Mike had like nothing to do. Okay. So they were kind of like writing him away into the corner. So maybe that's why
It's interesting when you see stuff like that happen. Uh-huh. Like, is it Keith Robinson is the actor from The Office? He was...
Yeah.
Right, he was...
And then all of a sudden he's a bigger character.
Right. He becomes a bigger profile star in the world. Yeah. So literally they move him in the show from the warehouse to The Office. Yeah. And now he's an ensemble player. Yeah. It's like he got hired up... Yeah, in the fake world because of his stature in the real world.
When speaking of Twilight movies, oh God, what's her face from Pitch Perfect? The main character.
Oh,
Anna Kendrick.
Thank you.
Fact checking.
Thanks, Bill.
Fact checking from the couch. Anna Kendrick is in the Twilight, the first movie.
Yes.
And then she was nominated for an Oscar in the interim of the first and the second movie coming out. So then they were like trying to give her lines anywhere they could.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I like that first Twilight movie.
I wish they had let Robert Pattinson play it the way he wanted to play it. Do you know this story?
He wanted to play it like Count Chocula?
I wish.
He wanted to be like,
and just like marshmallows are falling out of his pocket.
I want to go to chemistry class with you.
He wanted to play it like a sociopath, apparently.
Okay.
Like he didn't feel any emotions whatsoever.
I see that a little bit.
From being alive for so long and life meant nothing to him.
Okay.
And he wanted to play it like this character was making him feel things and it freaked him out too much to like, you can kind of see that a little bit.
Yes.
But
I see that.
He wanted to play it like total sociopath, and they wouldn't let him because they were like, it's incredibly freaky. Like, it's too freaky.
Stop it. You're upsetting everyone.
Yeah. Please don't do it. But I kind of wish they did.
Yeah,
that would
let him amazing.
Go with it and he'd be like a wild man.
This is my cousin Blueberry.
Why do Frankenberry and Blueberry have the same last name, but Count Chocula has a different last name?
Because Frankenberry and Blueberry are cousins.
Why?
Why not? What do you mean?
What? Blueberry is like the ghost of a man who wears a hat.
Yes.
Frankenberry is
a Frankenstein.
Is Frankenstein's monster.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, no. We're gonna have that argument today.
Fuck you. Fuck you, anyone who makes that fucking correction.
He is a new Prometheus, if you will. An Adam.
I've read it. I've read the book.
Yeah, have you?
I have read the book.
I feel like you haven't.
I read it in graduate school.
You called him a Frankenstein.
It's shorthand. That reminds me of the Rick and Morty with Frankenstein. He's like, let me tell you something. I'm actually Frankenstein's monster.
Did you ever see that thing that somebody hand wrote in pen on the last page? It's like, actually, it's okay if you just call me Frankenstein. I heard him shout as he floated away on a piece of ice.
So true. That's so fantastic. Well, I mean, I guess it's because Frankenberry and Blueberry, and by the way, I'm glad we're on this very important topic.
Finally.
Frankenberry and Blueberry are both berry flavored cereals, and
sure,
Count Chocula is chocolate. If Count Chocula was a berry, it would be like Count.
But Captain Crunch is berries, and his last name isn't Berry. I mean, get creative.
Well, after the tragic Oops All Berries incident, he's been on thin ice.
Oh, that's true. He almost was demoted.
Oops All Berries was
Lieutenant Colonel.
That's his 9/11.
Oops All Berries.
He has flashbacks about the Oops All Berries day.
Oh my god. The one and only time it didn't cut the roof of your mouth.
I hate Oops All Berries, and I hate berries.
I just want Captain Crunch.
No, I love Captain Crunch. It's the only cornbread flavored cereal.
You know what I don't want in my cereal?
Oops All Berries.
It's the military.
All right, you know what? It's maritime. All right, it's. I
feel like we need a break.
No, I feel like we're just getting this good. We're just getting to the good stuff. This is, by the way, the second one of your episodes where we went on a cereal tangent.
We need to do a cereal mini. From
your lips to God's ears. On that note, let's take a break. Let's go get some Blueberry.
Oh my god.
Did you have a good break?
I did. I ate a ton of Oreos. I feel like we always talk about what I ate on the break.
Yeah.
Which cookies, which cereal.
Well, you're a mother, and your child is very, very young. Mm-hmm. He's about to be 1. Mm-hmm. So, you're busy. I feel like young mothers are like grazers. You kind of eat when you can.
Eat as you go, yeah, for sure. The trick is you don't eat their food. Like, don't eat the leftovers of their food.
Why is what is the trick to that?
So every motherhood centric diet thing that you read, or not diet, but just like eating plan, so like, don't eat your kids' food. That's extra calories. It's like, oh, that spoonful of mac and cheese.
But somebody's gonna eat it.
It's really gonna throw me off. You mustn't eat their food.
I really, when you said that, I thought it was like some sort of weird power dynamic thing. Like, no, don't eat their food.
Don't show them eating. It's weakness.
When eating in front of your children, avert your eyes.
Never show them your back.
Children can sense weakness. They are monsters. So, welcome back to Pop Culture Man Children, PCMC. This is a podcast that deals with all pop culture ephemera, video games, and Janine's dislike for Ghostbusters 2, and cereal, and
well-documented dislike now.
And
it's just fine.
And Blueberry, and all sorts of fun stuff. So this is the chill sesh, and during the chill sesh, we can just talk. I went to the Museum of Moving Image last week.
Okay.
They have a Jim Henson exhibit.
Aww.
And I had the time of my life.
That's wonderful.
They have they have a bunch of interactive stuff there.
Okay.
So they have this one room where it's like there's a stool, and then there's like 3 Muppets you can choose. Okay. They're like very plain like Muppets. Mm-hmm. They're not like Muppets, you know. And then there's a camera on the wall, and then underneath the camera is a monitor where you can see what's in the camera. And so you put the Muppet on your hand, and then like you raise your hand, and you basically record a couple seconds, and then you can look at the monitor. So you're looking to see how you're doing.
Okay.
And then you pick a sound clip, and you try to mouth your Muppet along with it. So it's hard, man.
I'm sure it is.
It's hard stuff, because I'm like, I don't know what to do with the hand, because every Muppet has one hand. Yeah. Has one working hand with the rod. Right. Every Muppet's left-handed.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting.
Unless the performer's left-handed.
Oh, okay.
But most Muppets are left-handed. So but it was fun. I found that they had a lot of like actual Muppets. Like they killed them and skinned them. No, they had a lot of the puppets there, and it's weird because I love the Muppets, but it's like you see them and it's like, with German philosopher Walter Benjamin called aura, like it's like this is like felt. Like Miss Piggy's actually just cloth, right? Like here like you see it, and then some of them are like dusty because it's like these are like the actual old ones. Yeah. And they had Miss Piggy in her wedding dress from Muppets Take Manhattan. Yeah. Where she was a vision. She was great. She did trick Kermit into marriage, but he
needed the push.
Sometimes you just gotta do it. I was also taken back by how big they are. Oh. Like some of the puppets, like even just regular like puppets, like they're big. Like Waldorf and Statler. Yeah. Like wow, these are big.
But then you look at all the detail on their face, and you're like, they have to be a big.
Right, you have to. Right.
Have like that expression, that level of expression. Yeah. I love Waldorf and Statler.
They are so good. You can look at my Instagram at Pop Culture Man Children, and I've got a bunch of stuff up there. They had Skeksis from Dark Crystal. Okay. They had David Bowie's costume. I'm laughing because the bulge was perfectly because his dick is like the star of that movie.
It is.
It's like starring David Bowie's dick and
David
Muppets.
Bowie gets like third billing in that movie. His dick gets
it's
first.
Like his dick, Muppets. Yeah. David Bowie. They had what other stuff did they have? They had the Explorer. Do you remember the Explorer from Fraggle Rock? He was not there all the time. He was always out in the world finding things, and then he'd come back.
Yeah.
They had a Big Bird, which is huge.
I'm sure.
Like the Big Bird costume is frighteningly big. It was just so much fun. I really loved it. And then outside of that exhibit, I'd never been there before. It's in Queens. Okay. Have you ever been there?
I haven't.
It's a lot of fun, and like it's not very big. It's a nice little area, so there's like stuff around to eat and stuff. Mm-hmm. There's a Starbucks right there, and there's a lot of cool stuff. Like they have in their permanent collection, they have a lot of stuff like that I just know from like my cinema degree, like old like peep show movies where you actually like crank it to see it, and like stuff like that, and old movie cameras, and then there's a bunch of interactive stuff. Like there's a little booth that's like, this is how you do ADR, and you go in and you pick a clip from a movie, and then you rehearse it and then you record it. I did Babe. Okay. So I did a scene from Babe, and I really I really played the part.
Did you play Babe?
Yes, I played Babe, and I had to say the line, "I miss my mom." Aww. So I really put a lot of heart into it. And the girl who went after me, she wasn't as good. Yeah. I stayed around. I was like, she's not really doing it. And it was just a lot of fun. They also had this cool little like interactive thing that was like stop motion picture. So it was like, basically it was like these desks or in a round table. And there's a camera, I guess, on the roof that's like on the ceiling that's coming down on your desk. Mm-hmm. And then there's a bunch of like paper doll things, and then you just press a button and that takes a picture. So it's like you basically play around with the doll and then press the button, and then you could play it back and you could play the stop motion thing you just made. So
you were there for 3 hours making a 2-minute movie.
I tried to make a PCMC because you can send it to yourself. So I tried to. Cool. I spent like 20 minutes making a PCMC thing, but because I guess it's an exhibit, like I left it alone for too long and it was all gone. Oh. So upsetting. but it was a lot of fun. I loved it.
That sounds like a fun day. A fun day out.
It was a fun day out. I love a Muppet. Did you?
I mean, who doesn't? Does everyone have a favorite Muppet though?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite?
Gonzo. The great Gonzo. Or Rizzo.
Oh, Rizzo's good. Rizzo's good.
Who's your favorite Muppet? Real quick.
I don't have one.
How dare you?
I was going to say a Sesame Street character, but...
that counts. That totally counts. You can give me a Fraggle.
Miss Piggy's actually my favorite Muppet, I would say.
You know what?
I like when she goes... I was going to do the sound, but now I got shy.
Hiya?
She goes, hiya!
Yeah. Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. I love Miss Piggy. She was a harrowing. If you ever look up her backstory.
What?
Yeah, she was like an abusive dad.
Oh my god! Why did they make that her backstory?
She wanted to leave the farm and like find stardom, and she got abandonment issues. So you know what, Kermit? Maybe be a little bit nicer.
Maybe
to her.
Be chill with her. How about that?
I always felt like he was a little bit too much of a dick with her.
He should be so lucky.
Honestly, who else? Who else wants you?
I like it. I know, right? Nobody else is coming after you.
Frog.
Muppets Most Wanted has the great evil Kermit, who finally treats Piggy the way she needs to be treated.
Yes.
And she's like completely taken by him.
That movie's great.
It is great.
I love when he doesn't know their names and he's like, yeah, Fonzie.
I love the song that he sings, like, I can give you anything you want.
Yes.
And it, like, sings a whole song to her about like all the things she deserves, and she's like, fucking finally, Kermit, you get it, you finally get it.
God, that movie's so good.
It's
Tina
really good.
Fey's in that.
I think she looks so gorgeous in that.
She does.
I really do. I think she looks so beautiful in that movie.
She has the line when she said goodnight to everybody. She said, "Good night, Danny Trejo."
Good night, Danny Trejo.
And then you had, what's his name? Brett from Flight of Conchords wrote the songs.
Yeah, I wrote the songs.
And what's his name? Ty Burrell as the French detective. I love that movie.
It's a great one. I like it better than the Muppet movie, the first remake with Jason Segel.
Yeah, that one was good, but not as good as...
It was like way more fun than the second one.
Yeah, the second one was a lot more fun. Of the originals, my favorite would be Christmas Carol.
Love Christmas Carol. Treasure Island's pretty fun too. I like that one.
I think I was like growing up, like I remember not liking it, but I bet I'd like it now if I watched it.
Christmas Carol. It's my favorite version of A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, it's the best version.
Easily.
Michael Caine's the best Scrooge.
Michael Caine, it does not phone it in at all. He does a wonderful performance.
Yeah. He fucking gives it his all.
Yeah. So good.
It's the best.
It's fantastic.
What have you been watching or reading or anything?
Well, I would say let's hop off the Tina Fey train and go on to Great News.
I've almost watched it.
Okay.
She's all right. Talk about it.
So I watched the whole first season now. We've gone through the...
Is that the one with, what's her name?
Sure.
The Surreal Life?
Nicole Richie.
Yeah, Nicole Richie.
Yeah. So, okay. It's basically 30 Rock light.
Okay.
It is. So it's a workplace comedy about a news program called The Breakdown. And it's created by Tracy Wigfield, who was a writer on 30 Rock.
Oh, okay.
And
so I thought it was created by Tina Fey. It's not.
No, it's not. It's created by this woman. She's also on the show. So Tracy Wigfield is the creator. It's executive produced by Tina Fey.
Okay.
And David Carlock, I think his name is. He did like Kimmy Schmidt also.
Yeah.
And Jeff Richmond does some of the music. Like there's another composer as well. So it's this weird thing. Like it's like you're watching it through. Yeah. It's just like you're watching like an alternate universe 30 Rock or something. Because it sometimes feels like they're reusing sets, like the elevator.
Sure.
And the main character's name is Katie. She's played by Briga Heelan or Briga. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she's good. And her office is like kind of similar to Liz's. There's just like Portia is this character played by Nicole Richie. Her dressing room shots are almost identical to Jenna's.
Okay.
And essentially it's the same story. It's a workplace where they're wrangling difficult talent, right? Two stars, and the stars are John Michael Higgins. He plays Chuck Pierce. He's like an old timey newsman.
Okay.
And he thinks he's Walter Cronkite, and he's like a bag of gas. And then Nicole Richie plays Portia. She's like a long.
She's supposed to be like Megyn Kelly.
No, I guess, but she's just like the hot young thing who's like she's like very clicked in with social media, and she is like this new news person, and Chuck does not understand her at all, and they're co-anchors on this show.
Okay.
He's fantastic. John Michael Higgins
is great,
wonderful in this show. But the best part is the character Carol, and Carol is played by Andrea Martin. Great actress from a number of things, but like My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and she's actually on an episode of 30 Rock. She's on the My Whole Life is Thunder episode where Liz gets the award for the 80 under 80 for the women in media. So she's Katie's mom. This show had me in the first minute. So Katie's on the phone with her mom and talking about like her work day, and then they're both talking about the Bachelor episode last night. And she's like, why don't you come live with me? I kept your room the same way you had it growing up. Daddy can sleep in there, and you can sleep in the big bed with me. And I was like, I'm on board. I love this woman. So she's a woman in her 60s, and she's the lead on this show.
Which great.
Is fantastic and great. She's outrageous. She's so funny. And it's basically like this woman, she's going back to school. She wants to do journalism. Katie's like, why do you need the same dream as me? And she's like, well, why do you think you have your dreams? Because I loved news. I loved all this stuff. I want to be an intern. So she becomes an intern at the network where her daughter works. And so then it's basically like her not understanding like modern culture and her she's like a very fish out of water. She's a mom. She self-identifies as a mom, and she finds strength in that. Like she's going to use all of her like momming ability from the last 30 years to like fix these problems. And so she ends up becoming Chuck's personal assistant, and he goes to her personal assistant a day, but because she's like takes no guff from him, it ends up working. There's all these great callbacks to 30 Rock though, because like at the end of the first episode, she goes into his office and is like, boy, what a day I had, but I learned so much. He's like, get out, we're not close like that, and like kicks her out of the office. And it's like this wonderful reference. Tina Fey comes on in the second season. She plays Diana Saint-Tropez, and she's like name. The new owner of the network. I've only gotten a couple episodes into season 2, but it seems like is the Jack Donaghy character.
Okay. I like when she plays like a heavy.
Yeah, and she takes on Katie as her mentor.
Where was it on? Was it a network show?
It was on NBC. And it was on from 2017 to 2018, so in the last couple of years. It had 2 seasons, and it was canceled because it had horrible ratings. Like, nobody watched this show. I didn't even know it existed. I thought it was a Netflix show when I saw it come on.
I remember hearing about it, but then, like, that was it. Like, I never watched it, and you're right. It's like it never happened.
Yeah.
So where are you in the series?
There's only 2 seasons. I'm at the beginning of season 2.
So you've got 1 season left.
Yeah, that's it.
It's a sad feeling, isn't it?
It is. It's really good. It's really funny. It doesn't have the same bite that 30 Rock has.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have the jokes per minute that 30 Rock has.
I don't think NBC wanted that.
Yeah.
At that point.
But it is very funny. It makes me laugh out loud a lot. It has that same vibe of like just leaning into how weird people are, which I love.
Yeah.
And I would say it's definitely some like fun light fare that you can just binge and give it some viewers on Netflix. I think it's fantastic. I'm really enjoying it.
I'll definitely watch that. I've been kind of like, I guess me and Anthony talked about this in the last episode when we were talking about happy endings in sitcoms, but I've been kind of like binging light fare, because I'm kind of catching up on network stuff.
Okay.
Because, we live in the golden age of TV and like Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff and Amazon. But like, it's just like there's not I guess it started when I started watching Superstore. I was like, wow, this is actually very good. And this has been on for 4 years, and I never watched a second of it, and I never hear anybody talk about it. So and then I watched Happy Endings, which is what the episode was about, and now I'm rewatching The Goldbergs.
Okay, I like The Goldbergs.
Yeah, The Goldbergs is fun, and that's still going. But yeah, it there's a sort of bittersweetness when you find a show that you like, and you see that it's getting better, and you could see it begin to seed ideas for the future, but you know it got canceled.
Yeah,
you're like, it's
this one was good from episode 1 though. In the same way that 30 Rock was, where it like grabs you immediately. I was on board from episode 1.
I wonder why it seemed to like not.
It didn't find an audience. I think people are moving away from network television. I think I think you guys were talking about it in the last episode. Like success or ratings isn't what it used to be. And they didn't realize that in time, so they're canceling these shows because they're not doing the numbers. I think it's sad. It's a really good show. I know you said like brilliant, but cancels is a term that you hate because you wouldn't want to bring some shows back, and I completely agree with you with Arrested Development. But other things like One Day at a Time, it's like I almost want like Netflix to pick them up, but it's already been a full year since the last season aired, so I'm like, I think it's too late. They're probably all looking for other projects.
Yeah, but you never know, like with Arrested Development, like 6 years passed or something like that.
True, but they were all working. I mean, those were all like, they were all big time stars after that.
Interesting. It is a weird media landscape where we have so much sort of influence that like you can just get stuff brought back.
Yeah.
Although that's not necessarily new, right? That's how Star Trek got a 3rd season.
Oh, okay.
It had 2 seasons and then it was canceled. And then I forget their names, but this husband and wife, they were both veterans, and they were just super nerds, and like they started a write-in campaign, and they got Star Trek a 3rd season.
Oh wow. And
I think the same thing happened for Dick Van Dyke Show. I think it had 1 season and then they canceled it, and then people were so it's not the most new thing, but it seems easier now to like get something brought back. Yeah.
We also watched Miracle Workers.
What's that?
It's on TBS. We watched it on the app because we don't have cable. But it's this show. It's based on Simon Rich's stories.
Yeah, I love Simon Rich. I know what it is now.
It's like
the Daniel Radcliffe show.
Yeah. It's cute. I like Great News a lot better. I thought it was funnier, but I like the actors on the show. Yes. I like the premise.
I like the.
I like how weird it is.
Yes.
I like that it's a workplace comedy about heaven. Yeah. I think that works.
I think Daniel Radcliffe has had such an interesting career.
I think he's phenomenal.
Harry Potter.
I love him. I love his choices. I think he makes the most interesting choices. He's done theater. He's like a big stage guy. Yeah. He did like How to Succeed in Business. He did Equus. He did, I don't know about other theater things. I know he has done other theater.
Swiss Army Man. Did you see that?
Swiss Army Man is incredible. I love Swiss Army Man. But he did like Continuum. He's made very interesting choices post. Yeah. He did the one where he's like Allen Ginsberg, right?
Oh, I don't know that one. Yeah. I think it's the smartest way. It was the smartest thing for him to do.
He doesn't need the money.
Right. And it's like,
so you could just do whatever.
To not pigeonhole yourself.
Yeah.
To be like, I'm just going to do a bunch of crazy things.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see that show. I've read most of Simon Rich's books.
Okay.
His short stories are really, really good. Mm-hmm. Have you ever read any of them?
I haven't. This is based on one of the short story books. The is it God Help? Something like God something. It's not called Miracle Workers.
Yeah.
It's going to be an anthology series. I don't know how they're going to do the second series, because it's very short. It's only 7 episodes, and they're 22 minutes long.
Interesting.
So you can do it, really quickly. And basically, they have one problem to solve, and that's the whole crux of the season.
And God is Steve Buscemi.
How
is that?
He's great. He's wonderful. He's a mess. He is a mess,
as God would be.
Yeah,
really. 7 episodes. That's God, that's nothing.
It's nothing. Yeah.
That's one less than like what we consider the minimum amount.
Yeah. It doesn't have many at all. So the characters aren't really developed.
But that's Simon Rich. It's all like these broad strokes. Did you watch his last series, Man Seeks Woman?
I didn't watch any of it, but I used to see the promos on FX and be like, what is this show about?
If you that was an interesting show because it's based on one particular story. Mm-hmm. But like they found a fun way of weaving his writing into the episodes, like just various ideas. So it's every episode is odd. Like there's an episode where his ex-girlfriend's dating Hitler.
Okay.
And he's like, and everyone loves him. And he's like, guys, this guy's Hitler. And they're like, you're jealous of her new boyfriend. And like, he's like, no, but like he's Hitler. And everyone's like, yeah, but he's awesome. Like everybody loves, like it's real high concept shit like that.
I've also been playing Wizards Unite. Have you heard about this?
Jen, who was on the episode where we're talking about Harry Potter, my friend Jen Luttrell, she's also a huge Pokemon Go person.
Okay.
And she's been trying to get into it, and then the other day she was like, I gotta admit, I don't think I like it.
Really? Okay.
And she loves Harry Potter, and she loves Pokemon Go.
Maybe that's the problem. I've never played Pokemon Go.
Oh, okay.
So
tell me about it.
Suspect Pokemon Go is a more fun game, and that's probably why
that's what
she might not be into it. This is my first experience with a game like that. Like I was aware of Pokemon Go, but I just never played it. So for me, this is like my first day out, essentially, like playing this
kind of like I can walk around the world and play a game.
And so I've been like dragging my 1-year-old son out on walks to go play this game.
Sure.
It's been fun. You can choose your profession. I don't understand everything. Like they have a lot of rules.
Yeah, I've heard it's a little confusing.
Rune stones that I don't know how to use, and
a lot of games have rune stones, and I don't think I get what rune stones are.
You just have them, and then some fortresses I think require them, but it doesn't. I don't know the significance of them, so I just use anyone, and I don't know if that means anything.
It probably does,
probably, but I'm not good enough at it. So you have to like cast spells, and then the wand motion of the spell you have to like trace on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah. So the premise is absolutely bonkers.
What is it?
Something, I don't know what, because I'm not far along enough in the game yet. Scattered magical items, people, and things? I don't know. The places also. Scattered them around the world, and now so it's not Fantastic Beasts. No.
Because it would make sense if you had to catch Fantastic Beasts, because that's sort of what Pokemon is. You have
to catch some Fantastic Beasts, but you also have to catch like people, like a Ravenclaw student.
I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, like a Ravenclaw student will just be out and about, and you have to like get them and return them to Hogwarts. So I don't know, it's weird. Like they'll be like, you return an issue of the Daily Prophet to where it was supposed to go. Like basically the idea is if a Muggle sees these items, then the jig is up. So we got to catch them before other people see them.
Right.
And they're called foundables, all the items that you can find. Harry Potter is involved, but he's like old. He's the horror version of Harry Potter, so he's like the cursed child version. I guess he's in his 40s.
So this is in canon game.
It's an in canon game. I don't know that they did the voices, but it sounds a lot like them. Talking about game things. Like Emma Watson is Hermione Granger, and it's like their likeness as the characters. And she's the Minister of Magic in this game.
Sure.
And you're part of like the magical task force to like bring back all this stuff. I don't love the premise. I think it's really stupid. But I like that you get to be a wizard.
You have to have a reason to go around the world.
Yeah, I guess.
Because there's a Ghostbusters one too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where you go and you catch ghosts.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I think they just used all the stuff that existed for Pokemon Go.
It's the same company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, and then they just made it all the Harry Potter stuff. Because I remember when Pokemon Go was out, all these kids used to be like congregating by the library.
Yeah.
Because that used to be like a place. I guess it was a gym or something.
Yeah.
And in Harry Potter, it's fortresses.
Yeah.
Where you also have inns and greenhouses. So like a mural nearby is an inn.
Okay.
The library is a fortress.
Is it the Big Ange mural?
Oh no, it's not. Oh my god, I wish I gotta go see. I gotta see if that's anything. That would be amazing. No, it's the Escape the Room mural is an inn. Then like parks will be greenhouses. I don't know what to do there because I haven't gone across. I didn't want to drag Henry.
So do you ever get like hang around some kids that are playing?
Nobody seems to be playing this game. I seem to be the only person in this area that's playing this game. When Pokemon Go first came out, I would see like groups of kids walking around because
everyone played it for a while.
Fortress area, gym area, I guess. Yeah, there are like a couple of big spots nearby. Yeah, so there would be groups of kids all the time in this area, and not so much with this game, but
right,
whatever. Yeah. I'm enjoying it.
So how do you progress? Like, what, you just get more stuff? Or?
I guess you become more powerful. I had to take a break from playing it this week, so my levels just like stayed pretty low. But the more magical items you return, that's like your XP, like you level up that way.
Because with Pokemon, right, you go out and you catch Pokemon,
right,
and then there are gyms which is where you fight, and whoever wins the fight, they are the winner of the gym. Okay, and the gym turns your color, so you can walk around like the cock of the walk and fight people and like take locations.
That's really cool. I don't understand how you take a fortress. It's like you fight a dark wizard, but it doesn't have to be another person.
Well, that's what Jen was telling me. She's like, I don't understand what I'm doing here.
Okay, so this is a problem that I'm also having because I just assumed I'm like just bad at the game, but I guess
it doesn't sound very intuitive.
It's not, because I also have like, you can make a potion, so then you'll have it in your pack. So then I'm like, okay, so how do I use this potion? And it doesn't say use, it just says info. So then you go to info, and then it'll be like cancel or delete.
What?
And I'm like, delete?
Those are both negative words.
Yeah, so it's like
cancel
if
or
you
delete.
Go to cancel, then you go back. If you delete one of the potions that you have, because I did it already.
So you can't do shit with the potions?
So I don't know what you can do with the potions. It's not the most.
I think this is a money laundering scheme.
Not the most user friendly. I haven't spent any money on this yet.
Good for you. Good for you. I've been playing God of War. Actually, I just beat the story, and I don't know.
Which God of War is it now?
That's the thing. I've never played any other but this one.
Oh, okay.
This one is just called God of War.
All right.
But I think it's like the 4th or 5th one.
Yeah.
So
had to be, because the first one came out a while back.
Right. And this one is IGN, Internet Gamer News or whatever. They called it a masterpiece, which is, hyperbolic.
Yeah.
But like, I might say that it is. I've only been a gamer for like a year.
Okay.
But its story is amazing. Its music is amazing. Its acting is amazing. It's the story where we pick up the story. You've got Kratos, who I guess is the god of war. He was a Spartan, and then I guess he became a god by doing something. And in the very beginning, his wife dies, and we
again.
Yeah,
what happened in the first one?
I don't know.
All right.
Or his current
new wife.
Right, exactly. The very first thing we do in the game is you chop down trees for her funeral pyre.
Oh.
And then he's got a little kid. And the little kid's actually really, basically they're talking to each other the whole game. And the whole point of the story is they have to go to the highest point and spread her ashes. Like, that's the inciting incident. Like, they just want to spread mom's ashes.
Sure.
But along the way, they meet, like, the goddess Freya, and they meet Thor's sons.
Okay.
And, like,
Oh, so they're doing Norse mythology for this one.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because the first one, I don't know about the others, but the first one's Greek.
Right. Yeah, it's confusing. My Norse mythology comes entirely from Neil Gaiman's mythology book.
Okay.
The one that came out like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Did you read that?
Isn't it called Norse mythology or something?
Probably.
Yeah.
And it's got Mjolnir on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like Neil Gaiman's retelling of it.
Yeah. He also uses a lot of Norse myths in American Gods.
I only read the first half of that book. Not that I didn't like it. I don't know. It was one of those things where, like, You know, like sometimes you're reading a book and then like I don't know, something happens and then,
you just forget it.
Yeah, but it's a long ass book too.
It's very long. Yeah. It's one of his most convoluted ones.
Yeah, and now it's a show.
Yeah,
which I hear is good. Yeah. I kind of don't want to watch it until I finish reading the book. I
read the book. I don't watch the show.
No. Then there's Good Omens, which is a show, which is him and Terry Pratchett. Terry Pratchett. Yeah. Did you ever read any of the Discworld?
I never did.
I read the very first one. Yeah. Something Magic, Color of Magic.
Okay.
And I liked it, but there's something intimidating when they're like, oh, there's 50 books.
You're like, forget
and
it.
And also, don't read them in order because that's the wrong order. And it's like, read this one. And it's like, happen. I'm like, oh boy, this is homework. And but anyway, it's really good. It's also, it does this amazing thing where it's all one shot, unless you die. Like, it's all one shot. So the camera moves, but basically, like, if it were a movie, it would be like a movie like it's like Birdman. Like, the camera moves and stuff, but you go to close up, but it's all one shot. There's never a cut until you die and have to restart.
Crazy. Which
is visually amazing,
I'm sure,
and dramatically it really helps like ground it in this father and son story.
It must really feel like a journey. Like,
it really feels like an odyssey. Like you're and you know you're supposed to be, you're going to spread mom's ashes, but then Thor's son comes to try to kill you, and then you run into all these different things, and then this is a spoiler alert for this game, but at the very end, you find out that Kranos' wife was a giant, even though she didn't look like a giant. She was of giant heritage. Sure. And so their son is half god, half giant.
Okay.
And his name is, what is it? Is it Artemis or Atreus? Something like that. But then the very last thing in the game is he goes, I was looking, because they go to the highest point, and it's a giant temple, and the kid's like, I saw on the wall the name that the giants have for me, and it's Loki. So it's like, oh, the little kid is Loki, which immediately makes me think of Loki from Marvel, because Marvel has, Norse mythology is so now wrapped up in Marvel. Yeah. But Loki is the person that brings Ragnarok.
Right.
So I don't know. It was an awesome game. It actually wasn't very long, which sometimes I like a long game, but I think if it were made longer, it would ruin the sort of perfect narrative of it. Yeah. But all games now, like, they have the story, but then after the story's done, there's still there's tons of more shit to do.
Like, you can collect, these gems.
Yeah, and then, like, there's also, like, you can
visit all the temples.
Exactly. Like, there's whole lands that, like, you don't go to in the story.
Oh, cool.
And then there's, like, Valkyries, and, like, if you kill a Valkyrie, like, you level up and all this crazy shit.
That's not nice.
I know, but,
Just kill a woman.
Yeah. Freya, though, is a really great character.
Is she Odin's wife?
Yes.
Okay.
Or at least I see.
Is she Renee Russo? I think so. Oh, no, she's not?
No, not in that.
Oh,
no.
Okay.
It's weird because there's Norse mythology, and then there's everyone's version of it, and I don't know what's right or what's wrong. So it's not Renee. She wasn't Freya, I don't think.
Okay, that's who. Was she that character in the movie? No. Okay.
So, what else have I been doing? I've been rewatching every Friday the 13th movie. There's a podcast called In Voorhees We Trust with Gorley and Rust.
Okay.
Which is the two hosts of Matt Gorley, who is a comedian, and he does the he's on the Conan podcast, and he also does I Was There Too, which is like I Was There Too is an interesting thing where he interviews people who like random people in movies, like the set designer, or like he
that's kind of a fun concept.
Yeah, he interviewed the comedian Greg Proops because he played the two-headed announcer in episode 1, and like he just talks about what episode 1 was like and shit like that.
Okay, like what it was like for that person.
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting.
That's what's called I Was There Too.
I like that.
And then the other host is Paul Rust, who is the star and creator of
Paul Rust.
Yeah, almost, not quite. He's the creator.
He's aging for Paul Rudd.
Oh my God, yeah.
He's Paul Rudd's Dorian Gray picture.
Absolutely.
Paul Rust.
Absolutely. No, he's from the show Love. Did you ever watch Love?
Oh,
the Netflix show.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. He also wrote the last Pee Wee Herman movie. He's the main guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know what he looks like.
Yeah. And every episode is
Is that show over?
Yeah, they had 3 seasons. I only watched the first 2 though.
Okay.
But I
the main character in Great News, Brigitte Heelan, is on Love.
Is what?
I don't know.
Oh, is she the Australian girl?
Maybe.
Does she have an Australian accent?
In the show she's American.
Anyway.
Never mind.
And they go through every episode. I listened to them all first, and then I was like, I gotta go back and watch. Like, I'm enjoying it, but I want to watch. So I got like a box set, a DVD box set of like the first 8 movies, because the first 8 were made by Paramount, and then there was like a bunch of other by New Line Cinema.
Sure.
So I've been every day I watch one, and then I like listen to the podcast of them talking about it. So I've been like going along with it. And I used to love those movies when I was a kid, but I haven't watched the Friday the 13th movies in like 20 years. And it's amazing when you're like, oh, I like that movie, or I don't like that movie. But then you go to rewatch it and you're like, I haven't watched it since so long. I'm just going to say for the record, I never watched it, because it's been decades.
My brain is different now.
Right.
Like, I can't have the same opinion because I don't have the same brain anymore.
I was 12. Today I watched Jason Goes to Hell, which is the 9th movie.
Okay.
My dad took me to see that in the theater.
Oh, wow.
I was 10. And I love those movies, and I begged him to do it. So he took, but I think nowadays, that probably wouldn't happen. I think nowadays, like, a parent would be embarrassed, even if they wanted to bring their kid.
Someone would call the police.
Right. They'd be like, I can't bring you to this movie. They're going to send me to jail. But I remember my dad took me.
I was like 6 years old and I saw Robin Hood Men in Tights, which is a PG-13.
I saw that as well.
I loved the sneaker jokes because I didn't get like most of the other jokes.
You were like, sneakers are in my wheelhouse.
I can pump those. I know what that is when you pump up the sneakers.
Get it. Was the technology behind that legit?
I think it just like made your shoes feel tighter. I don't think it actually made them tighter.
It didn't make you jump like Jordan?
Oh, yeah, no. I think it just made your shoes feel tight.
No, that sounds uncomfortable.
I like a tight shoe.
Do you?
Not like a heel, like a pinching tightness, but like a sneaker. I like to be tied in. I don't like to be
like skis
flying. Yeah, no, clip me into those for the day. I don't want to have laces flying around.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good to know.
I'm glad. I feel like I'm learning about you.
When people get hit by a car and their shoes fly off,
not you,
not me.
Not the way I'm going out.
Those shoes are staying on.
Some poor bastard's gonna have to cut me out of my shoes.
It's gonna take the jaws of life to remove me from my shoes.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll come back with obsessions. So this is Pop Culture Man, Children, PCMC. I'm Mike Bongiorno. I'm joined today by Janine. I know why I hesitated.
You didn't get the first name right this time.
No, because I
looked up, like you were really thinking hard.
I got caught up on the by with situation.
It's by.
Right. I'm joined by. No, because someone's gonna say I'm here, and that would be with.
I'm here.
I don't make good words with my mouth.
I'm here near Janine Gagliardi.
Janine Gagliardi is here. I'm Mike Bongiorno, and sitting across from me is Janine Gagliardi. This is Obsessions. This is what we're talking about. We're obsessed with. I'm gonna start because I already brought mine up, which is Friday the 13th. There is a scene, a sequence in Friday the 13th 8. Jason Takes Manhattan. That is, I think,
he doesn't take Manhattan for long.
No, he really takes
in
a
it for like 10 minutes.
He takes Vancouver for the most part. And then, he's on a boat.
He's on the boat.
The original script had more of him in Manhattan, and then like, we don't have the money for this.
Yeah.
So he's really and even in Manhattan, there's like one.
It's pre-Giuliani Manhattan.
Oh, it's
so
filthy. I love it.
Gross.
There's like one scene where he's in Times Square.
Yeah.
But then most of the time he's
I was gonna make a horrible joke. No.
Okay. Most of the time he's in like back alleys, which is just sets in Vancouver.
Yeah.
It's a ridiculous
There's a lot
movie.
of like manhole covers with smoke.
It's ridiculous. There's a point at the end where they're like they go into a sewer and because they're running from Jason, and then there's like a guy who works in the sewer, and he's like,
the Ninja Turtle show up,
and he's like, oh, you better get out of here. It's almost midnight. And like, what happens at midnight? He's like, oh, at midnight, the toxic waste rushes through. And like every night at midnight, a sea of toxic waste routinely rushes through the sewers to conveniently kill Jason.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not the scene I'm talking about, though. The scene that to me is perfection, and I want everyone listening to go and watch this on YouTube. There's a character in it who is a boxer, and we've established he's a boxer. And at some point, they go, let's split up, which is not a good idea, but they split up, and there's this young boxer, and there's Jason. They're on a rooftop. And the boxer, he sort of squares up with Jason, and he's like, come on, I'm gonna do this. And he punches Jason, and there's no music. So all you hear is the sound of the punching. So he punches the mask, and you hear the sound effect of a punch. And basically Jason rope-a-dopes him. He wears him out. So every time he punches Jason moves back a little bit.
Yeah.
And and this goes on for way too long. It's like 4 minutes of just this kid punching him. Like, you get exhausted watching it, and there's no music. All you hear is, and then the punching, and then the kid's like, the kid's knuckles are bloody, and he's just like getting worn out. And then at the end, he's like swinging. He's not even hitting Jason, and Jason's just not doing anything. He's just like, look at this fucking guy. And then the kid's worn out, and he goes, "Come on, motherfucker, give me your best shot." And then Jason punches his head off. It's so good. Jason punches this gentleman's head off.
Right off.
Like a clean break.
Up into the sky.
Like as if he cut it.
Yeah.
The punch cuts it clean off. And then it rolls, falls into a dumpster, and then the dumpster, the lid of the dumpster falls on it. It is, and I'm saying this as someone with a master's degree in cinema studies, the greatest sequence
ever filmed,
ever put to celluloid. It is, if we can dig up the ghost of William Kennedy Dixon, the creator of the motion picture camera, and show him this scene, he would cry, and then he'd go, "This is why I did it.
This is why."
And then he would just, his unfinished business
would be over, and then he'd fly away to heaven.
And he'd fly away to heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go incredible. On YouTube. All you need to put it is, just put in Jason punch. It'll come up immediately. Jason punches a guy's head off. And you think, okay, well, I know he punches his head off. It's not going to be funny. No, it is. Because I've watched, this is a true obsession. I've watched it like 1,000 times. It's just my happy place. I just keep watching it. Because just the music of it. Even though there's no music in it, like the music of the cinematography, the it's like this perfect joke where it's like this setup of the kid punching him, and then just, come on, you punch me, and the kid thinks Jason's beat, and then Jason punches his head off of his body, which is, what a way to go.
I mean,
I had my head punched clean off by Jason Voorhees.
How would you place it among his kills over the entire series?
That's a great question. It is the most entertaining.
Okay. There's that one in Jason X where he freezes the person's face and just smashes it.
I have not seen that one yet. I'm not up to that.
Oh, you've never seen it ever?
I've never seen Jason X ever.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
That one for you. That one's one of my favorites of his.
Really?
Yeah.
The two I've never seen are the remake and Jason X.
Okay.
So I've seen everyone besides that. I'd say that
he basically like takes someone by the hair, like puts their face in a like a space freezer, and then like pulls them out and just smashes their face, and it smashes like an ice cube.
That's pretty awesome. See, that's the thing about Jason, is much like Jackie Chan, he knew how to use his surroundings.
Yeah.
Even though he is a walking zombie from the 20th century, just because he's on a spaceship in the future doesn't mean he doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, he knows exactly what to do.
I think the most like vicious kill, which is in Jason, it's the only kill that they redo in Jason X, is and I think most people agree this is the worst kill. Not the worst, but like the best worst. A girl's in a sleeping bag. He picks up the sleeping bag and just hits it against a tree, and you just hear her spine crack.
Yeah.
And just the
it's like the brutality of it.
Yeah, exactly. Just like it's like
blunt force trauma. It's so
right.
It's so much worse to me than getting stabbed.
And
getting bludgeoned.
Right, because he does a lot of stabbing and he does a lot of impaling, but something about these sort of workmen, it's almost like when you see somebody snap a chicken's neck and it's just part of the cooking process. It's just like, Jason's just like, I'm going to pick this up. And when they filmed it, they filmed him like hitting her like 5 times. And then they cut it to just be one. He just picks it up, smash, and then she's dead.
Yeah.
And that's definitely the most brutal kill.
Yeah.
But the most entertaining is punching the dude's head off. For sure. For sure. By the way, they're not great movies. I'd say that the best one is 6, Jason Lives, because that's one where it knows it's fun. The ones that take it seriously are some of the biggest sin is some of the earlier ones are boring. But 6 is like, it's like a ride. It knows it's funny. It knows to not take itself seriously. I would say if you would have to watch one Jason movie of the original Jasons, watch 6.
Okay.
Jason Lives.
I've seen it, but I don't remember it at all.
I could let you borrow them all. Watch them with your child.
I will.
He's got to learn to stay out of the woods of New Jersey.
You know what? You're right. The earlier I show it to him, the better.
Honestly, Jason's really the only monster from New Jersey.
I didn't realize Camp Crystal Lake was in New Jersey.
Yeah.
You kind of blew my mind a little bit. When you said New Jersey, I was like, huh.
I mean,
I guess it's all the beautiful nature there.
In most, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, the series has no fucking makes no sense. Like in Jason Takes Manhattan, they leave on a cruise ship in Crystal Lake, and somehow Crystal Lake lets out into the ocean.
Into the ocean.
Makes no fucking sense. And then
a cruise ship on Crystal Lake.
Right, it's insane.
That is truly
and there's docks, and it's like we've seen this lake in
there's
7
no
other
dock
movies.
Workers here, there's not a port here.
Yeah, the lake changes sizes, and there's no continuity.
It's pretty small in the first. It's like a summer camp lake.
Yeah.
It's just a little lake.
In part 4, there's a character who's out trying to avenge his sister who was killed by Jason in part 3. Except part 4 is supposed to be the next day. So, you've been on this wild journey for the last 24 hours. Even Nate didn't give a shit about the continuity. Yeah. But anyway, Janine, what is your obsession?
Stranger Things.
Have you finished it?
No, I'm not even close. We just did the first 2 episodes.
We're recording this on the 5th of July.
Yeah.
So it just came out yesterday.
Just came out.
The first 2 episodes. Tell me about them.
I'm loving it so far. I'm just happy about the direction that they're going in. I find that I feel like you guys have talked about this a little bit in the past, and this is like a big bone I have with Anthony, because he's like, I get it, it's nostalgia, I get it, but I would argue if you want to watch something that's trying to get by on just nostalgia, watch the movie Summer of '85. It is a piece of garbage.
I've never even heard of that movie.
It is a serial killer or slasher movie set in the summer of '85.
Sure.
It doesn't really star anybody. Really.
It's like the 30 Rock joke. Transformers 7 written by no one.
There is one actor. He was on Mad Men. Harry Crane, the guy who plays Harry. I don't know. He's in it, and
sure.
it's there's a Corey Feldman kid, and it's very much supposed to be like a Stranger Things 80s horror. Okay. And it's very pastiche. It's trying to get by. It's just trying to get by on being an 80s movie, and it doesn't work at all. Yeah. At all. So when people argue oh, it's just nostalgia porn, essentially. I'm actually, it wouldn't get as far as it did if it was. They've developed the characters. The writing's actually good. They do use the nostalgia to elicit an emotional response from you, but then they flesh that out with really good storylines and characters. So I find that it just, by virtue of being 80s, it's not anything.
Well, let's talk about it. We'll say you've only seen the first 2 episodes.
Only seen the first 2.
So we'll say spoiler alert for the first 2 episodes of season 3 of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But what is grabbing you about this season so far?
Seems like it's going to be an Invasion of the Body Snatcher storyline.
You mean
how much of Stranger Things have you watched? Have you watched all of it?
All of it.
Okay. So it seems
I haven't watched any of season 3 yet, but I watched 1 and 2.
It seems like the Mind Flayer character, which we saw hovering over the school.
Right.
At the very end of season 2.
Right.
It's obviously still out there.
Right.
And what do we know about this character, the Mind Flayer? Like, it wants mind control.
Yeah.
And so it seems like in this season, it's the surviving bits. So I watched season 2 in the run-up to season 3. And what I noticed was there's the part that's like the parasitic part that's occupying Will.
Yeah.
Like, flies out into the sky. Doesn't necessarily re-enter the gate. It just like goes away. You never see it. And so it's still out there.
Okay.
It was basically, I guess, trapped on this side, and they say it in the trailer that it was like stuck on this side. So it's occupying this world, and it seems to be attracting rats to it and like getting strength from the rats and then using those to like work on a human host to like it's gonna like level up now from rats to a person.
When does it take place? How long after season 2?
It takes place 6 months after season 2.
Oh, okay.
The end of season 2, they're going to the snowball. Well, it has been. I mean, it's been almost 2 years.
Right.
In October, it'll be 2 years.
I remember hearing like after
second season.
I remember hearing
it's remarkable the kids don't look that they've aged that much, even though it's been almost 2 years.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm like, good job.
Yeah. Let me ask you a season 2 question. How do you feel about that standalone episode?
I like it.
11.
I want to explore that world more. It feels very X-Men to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was literally what I said.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people didn't like it. And I was like, I like that there's an X-Men movie in the middle of
because I want to see 9,
the other numbers.
10,
yeah.
You know, I want to see the other numbers.
That'd be a fun spin-off.
I would love that.
I liked that it was punky. I
like Kali very much.
Yeah.
I liked that. It didn't. I get why people didn't like it,
right.
and I didn't like that it detracted from the thrust of the overall story because I do feel like it is a roadblock or like not a roadblock, but like it's like a turn off.
It's like here's a different story in the middle of this other story.
Different. We're like on this trajectory, and now we're just gonna go over here for a second,
right?
And it does like slow down the momentum of the season,
right?
But I also think removing her from the group does take away from.
That's I think one of the weaknesses of season 2 in total, that she's not with them.
Yeah, but I like that story a lot. I do really like it. So I'm glad she's back with the group. I hope she's in the series. Kali, I don't know if she shows up. We're only a couple in. I like the new character, Robin, who works at the ice cream shop with Steve. It's Uma Thurman's daughter and Ethan Hawke's daughter, Maya Hawke.
Okay.
And I did get a spoiler for the season that is not in the first 2 episodes because I was Googling. My actual search terms were Will Gay, Stranger Things. And I ended up getting a spoiler about a gay character on Stranger Things that's coming up. So that's...
Okay.
Yeah. So okay. So that's the other thing about the first 2 episodes. And then Bill and I were like going back and looking at if there's evidence. And there is. So Will... And apparently they don't say this explicitly in the series, but I'm getting a lot of like LGBTQ AI storyline vibes from Will. And I feel like allegorically it could work too in like the first season and the second season, particularly like second season. But like first season, he's like isolated. He's in the upside down. It's like he feels different from everybody potentially if he's gay.
Right.
And the second season, it's like
I've got this thing inside me.
I have it, and almost like conversion therapy. It's like let's get it out of you.
Yeah,
like, let's get it out. And then season 3, he's like feeling the tingles. He's getting goosebumps because he's sensing the mind flare. Like he's sensing that this presence is still in the world. But it's almost like, oh yeah, I fixed this thing. It's not. I'm not like that anymore. Now I'm like getting this.
Interesting.
So. Everybody has like a girlfriend. Everyone's paired off.
Sure, okay.
Even Dustin. He went to science camp and now he's got a girlfriend from science camp. And Will is very much like, I want to play D&D. I just want to be with my friends. Like, I don't want to worry about stupid girls.
He like missed a year.
He did. Yeah. You know, he's missed part of his childhood and everyone kind of moved on without him. They all sort of grew up. So there is that aspect of it. But then there's also, Joyce says like, because he's complaining, like, ew, it's gross. And she's like, oh, you'll fall in love someday. And he's like, I'll never fall in love. Or like, I'm not going to fall in love. So that's like a weird little moment. And then I remember in season 1, when he first goes missing, Joyce is telling Hopper that her ex-husband Lonnie used to call him queer. And like the other kids at school do too.
Yeah.
So I was like, ooh, that's something that's just like a throwaway in season 1 that now it kind of seems like.
But do you think... Oh, okay. But the the answer to this, or
I
you
don't
know?
No, they don't necessarily explore it explicitly, but I do know that he has a fight with Mike later in the season.
Because he'd be allegorically queer and not
necessarily queer in the show.
Yeah, right.
For sure. I don't know that they get into it explicitly. I don't think that they do in this season, which is fine. But he does get into an argument with Mike later in the series where he's basically calling him out, like, all you want to do is spend time with girls.
Yeah.
And, like, so stupid. And Mike turns around and is like, well, just because you don't like girls. And he looks very stung by it. And Mike apologizes, but he doesn't take it back. And he's just like, it just kind of sits there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh, it's a little
I gotta watch
narrative going on here.
I think yesterday was the 4th of July and my internet was out. So I literally couldn't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then today I was just playing video games. So I'm going to watch it. I was actually, you know what put me off a little bit? And this is just my own weird, and this has nothing to do with my patriotism. I don't like 4th of July as an aesthetic.
Oh, really?
And
see, I like it as an aesthetic. I don't like it as an actual thing.
I don't like it either way, but not that I'm anti-American, but like season.
I think we've established we're both very anti-American.
What? Season 2 was sort of like Halloween themed, and I love that. So like everything this season was like firework, like the whole like marketing around it was 4th of July, and something to me was like, I don't like that. I don't know why. But I'll definitely watch it because I do like it.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like it feels.
Well, when you watch more of it,
I love the mall.
Come back and talk about
it. Like it's a big set piece. Is the Starcourt Mall?
Yeah,
and it seems like that's going to be where the like last big action set piece is too. Because the last episode is called the Battle of Starcourt.
Nice.
I love that.
I like that they call them like it's Stranger Things 2 and like I like that they make it like they have movie sequels. Mm-hmm. It's fun.
It's a good one. The mall, it feels. See, like that's the thing. It does tap into nostalgia, but it's not necessarily like, oh, this is just like a rehash of,
right.
You know, Stand By Me again. This is like mall culture, like nostalgia for malls,
right,
which is great. And they tap into that as like a coming of age location, because
right.
for many of us, like the mall was a place you can get dropped off and feel independent for the first time, because your parents would be like, okay, they're in relative safety,
right.
I'll be back in 3 hours. You know, do what you want to do. And, you know, if you had money in your pocket, you could just like roam the mall, like get an Orange Julius, which I've never had because we didn't have one at the Staten Island Mall. But it's just like, it's such a great place.
Really true. Yeah.
And also it's like the beginning of mall culture because it's 84.
Right.
So it's like, it's brand new. It's like the new town square.
Right.
A mall is like a new place where people congregate.
Right. And figuratively, the mall is rife with all sorts of, you know, it could represent commercialism, and it could represent the, you know, commodification of leisure. It could, you know, there's so many interesting things that it could represent.
It's this great stand-in for like American culture at that time.
Right.
It's like the America in the 80s like was a mall essentially.
But that's what's interesting about Stranger Things, which is like I'm watching the Goldbergs, and that's just like, wasn't the 80s great? Whereas the 80s is also the time of like AIDS and Reagan and Iran-Contra and like and Chernobyl and like shit, like a lot of horrible shit happened, and I like that Stranger Things in some ways is tapping into that as well. Yeah,
well, this is very Russia-centric, it seems. Season.
Oh, okay.
It starts in Russia. The season starts in Russia.
Okay.
Episode 1, and they're doing experiments, and it seems like they're maybe perhaps responsible for some of the stuff that's happening in Hawkins.
Interesting.
Which is really cool. I'm loving it so far. I mean, we're only 2 in.
Fantastic. Yeah. All right, well, we need to end this episode because it's 9 hours long.
Yep.
Janine, thank you for coming on.
You're so welcome.
I thought you'd say thank you back, but it's cool.
No. No, thank you.
Fair enough. So thank you. You've been Janine Gagliardi.
You need more of that caffeine in your decaf.
You've been Janine Gagliardi.
I have the entire time.
I've been Mike Buongiorno. Not Italian superstar Mike Buongiorno.
Right.
That's not me. I'm not him. So if you Google me and you go, I didn't know Mike was a deceased man who was very famous in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Very
famous.
This is Pop Culture Man Children, PCMC. Pop Culture Man Children is a podcast that is available anywhere you can find podcasts. Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. You could also follow at Pop Culture Man Children on Instagram. There you'll see announcements for the show, new episodes, various toys and stuff. All the Muppet stuff I saw is on there. Are you online? Do you have any presents?
I have no presents.
In case you're new to this show, we end every episode by quoting Muppet Babies. At the end of every episode of Muppet Babies, Animal would say, "Go bye-bye." So that's how we end it. Do you want to do it?
Yeah. Go bye-bye.